What's good, everybody? David Zabinski here, Colossal Strength Systems. Today, I want to talk to y'all about how to create your own exercise program. Now, there's a shitload of variables that go into exercise program, from the beginner all the way up to the advanced, but today I'm going to break it down in the most simple way I can put it, okay? So first, you need to figure out number one thing. What's your goal? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to put on weight like a bodybuilder? Are you trying to move better? Maybe you're training for a 5K or an Ironman, your cardiovascular fitness, or you're just trying to be in a good old health and wellness program because you're just trying to live a better life through health and wellness. You need to figure that out because there's three main principles that go into every program, and depending on what your goal is will change the amount of those three principles. But today I'm going to show you again what I see for the majority of people in general recommendation. So what are these three components? We have strength training or resistance training, cardiovascular training or respiratory work, and or mobility or flexibility training, whatever you want to call it, okay, a longevity aspect. Now, depending on your goal, okay, so let's dive into strength training, because strength training is going to yield the most results, the most bang for your buck. If you can only exercise 3 times throughout the week, resistance training is the way you want to go. Why? As we get older, we talk about metabolism slowing down, joints get achy, cognitive function goes down, and the number one reason all these things happen is lack of muscle mass, okay? So we want to make sure that we continually challenge the body from external resistance to make sure our body keeps producing muscle mass to fight that resistance, okay? Not to mention, you get to eat more when you have more muscle mass. What do I mean by this, okay? Let's take two people who are 200 pounds and one has a higher body fat percentage, one has a lower body fat percentage, but they weigh the same. So lower body fat percentage has more muscle mass, okay? Higher body fat percentage has lower muscle mass. The person, say they both sit on the couch all day, guy with muscle mass is going to be able to have more, their body's going to burn more calories even at rest, okay? So the more muscle mass you have, again, the more you can eat and not get fat. Win-win, right? Not to mention a whole list of factors that really just go into longevity aspects that we're not going to get into today. So strength training, how do we do that? If you are not trying to go into some bodybuilding program or powerlifting competition, 3 days a week can yield some really high quality results. So what are we going to do in those 3 days, okay? Now there's 7 primal movement patterns or the main strength training muscle movement patterns that you want to stick to. Now what this looks like: overhead press, okay, or a vertical press, horizontal row or like a bench press, a horizontal push like a bench press, horizontal row, okay, or a vertical pull or like a chin-up, okay? Then we also have rotation, okay? Then for the lower body we have a squat, then we also have a hinge like a deadlift, okay? Those are your 7 basic movement patterns, okay? Now, there's obviously a lot of other things that our bodies can do, and we'll go into that in a second. Now, why do we stick to these 7? Because in these 7, you are what they call compound exercises as well. You are getting multi-joint exercises. What does that mean? Essentially, you're going to stimulate more muscle mass in those 7 patterns than anything else, okay? So it's just about being efficient, more bang for your buck. Not to mention hormonal benefits from hitting these types of exercises as well. We'll get into in future videos. So over those 7 days, over those 3 workouts, every time you go to the gym, I want you to stimulate all 7 of those patterns, okay? This is going to create a more symmetrical body. Stimulating the muscle throughout the week multiple times will yield better results versus 1 time a week. Because your typical bodybuilding program, you hear about chest day, back day, blah, 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 blah. What if I told you you did 4 chest workouts a month? Probably wouldn't be so happy about that, right? So again, more frequency within reason, the better. So again, if you're going to the gym 3 times a week, hit your full body all 3 times throughout that week, okay? Next up, okay? We have our cardiovascular endurance, okay, or our cardio. Now, cardio obviously has the benefits of just burning calories, okay? We also have respiratory function, which keeps your lungs healthy, also oxygenizes your whole body. Blood flow or your blood flow circulation is one of the most vital components of health for the long run, okay? Cardio really helps with that. Not to mention, our posture starts at our diaphragm and our breathing musculature. If those are bogged down and weak and just plain old tight, we're gonna have issues throughout our posture, and you're gonna run into shoulder issues and hip issues because the main component of your posture isn't set up correctly. So this is where, again, cardiovascular fitness can really help because it helps kind of realign things. Third component of your exercise program would be mobility training. And this is where yoga is a great practice. Not only are we going to move our body through the rest of our movement patterns, right? We talked about strength training, those main 7 patterns, but let's take our shoulder for example, okay? Well, when you're strength training, for the most part, we move here, maybe move here, maybe move here. But our shoulder is a 360 joint and moves in all these different directions across body, things of that nature, right? So yoga is a great practice to end up putting our body in some of those other unique positions, but not under heavy load, so it's not threatening at all. Not to mention a high quality practice of yoga will match movement training with breath work. So you're also getting a little bit of breath work practice in while moving, which is again, is going to yield a lot of positive results for you. Now, inside all that, what we want to make sure to do is, why do we even have a program? Now, a program makes sure that we get from A to B, or as my lovely graffiti work done in the back of the garage, that's Milo Croton, and he is our first representation of progressive overload. What does that mean? So Milo, as a young boy, legend has it, was given a calf. Every single day, that calf needed to be walked up this mountain. Milo had to carry the calf up the mountain. Now, every day that calf grew, and little by little, as every day that calf grew, Milo also grew, because that external resistance of the calf started getting heavier and heavier. So Milo got stronger and stronger, and now he can carry a full bull up the mountain. That's the idea behind progressive overload. Whether that's your strength training, and we slowly get stronger over time by adding more weight over time and more volume. That's also your cardiovascular training, okay? You slowly start with a little bit of running, and you slowly run more and more, or faster and faster. And even with your mobility training, okay? Maybe you can't touch your toes right now, but little day by day, progressive overload in your movement training, and little by little, you're gonna be touching the floor. This is how contortionists work. They didn't start by folding themselves in the box. Little by little, you start putting yourself in a little bit more uncomfortable place, and over time, you improve. Okay, so again, coming back to just a general overall wellness program, you have 2 or 3 days strength training, 2 or 3 days doing cardio, and maybe 2 or 3 days doing yoga. Okay, now I understand that some may overlap, and that some days you do a little bit of each, but again, this is where a well thought out program can implement all 3 of these aspects into your program and make sure that you take care of your health and wellness from every aspect. Okay. That's all today, okay? Just how to create a program, general overview, kind of hopefully that's streamlined it for you guys. Let me know how y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, do whatever you need to do to help me out, and please let me know what you want to be talked about, okay? Have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening.